Do you need awards and qualifications to get ahead in photography? That's a question I've just received from a viewer called Katie. Katie said she's a developing photographer. She's been researching the competition in her area and she's come across quite a few photographers who are pretty damn good that have been awarded professional photography qualifications by the BIP, the BIPP, British Institute of Professional Photography. There's also other ones, the Society of Professional Photographers as well, SIP or SWIP, Society of Wedding and Portrait Photography. There's a whole bunch of different professional bodies which people can join up and get stuff from. They boast this, so the people that have got these awards boast about this to obviously draw in more customers, ideally giving them the sense of safety in the product they're purchasing. I get that, but is it necessary? That's a good question. Is a good question. Is it necessary to have professional qualifications? Straight off the bat, I would just say no, not really. So the next question is, you say, do you have qualifications from a professional awarding body? I have absolutely no professional qualifications whatsoever. And some people might go, oh yeah, it's because you're crap dumb. Fair dues. But I've never. I just got into photography and did it. The awards that I think are more appropriate are the awards of being chosen to take photos for certain magazines. The awards of getting recognised by your peers, not just in a qualificational way, but just by your peers, just kind of going, yeah, that's a good photo, that's brilliant, or then getting a job from it. That's the qualification. The fact that your occupation is what you're doing is almost more of a qualification than having a written piece of paper saying you are qualified. Obviously, I wouldn't go to a doctor that was saying, oh yeah, I've cured loads of people, but I have no degree or qualification. But that's the medical science. The creative world, I think qualifications are a bit of an odd thing to get, and they're so subjective. Somebody in an art school could go and take a dump on the floor and get a master's degree in art. Meanwhile, somebody who spends hours and days and weeks and months on perfecting a piece of something, sculpture or whatever, barely passes through because it's not conceptual enough, or some crap like that. So I find qualifications in a creative industry to be quite an odd thing. A qualification of knowing how to work a certain software that you use in the creative industry, I absolutely get that. If you're qualified in Adobe, yeah, get that. I absolutely understand. But a qualification in showing that you've taken good photos, I always think that's a bit strange. And also, I don't know. I have no idea how this works. I think they ask for a portfolio of stuff, but what does a professional body do? Does it just look at your portfolio and go, oh yes, you are taking professional photos, here's your qualification? It has no meaning on whether you are good with your customers, good with your clients, good with dealing of the business, the promotion of your work, also being a good ambassador for the job that you do. So in other words, I consider myself to be more of an ambassador for what I do rather than you can be an okay snowboarder, or I could be an okay Scotsman, but whenever I go to another country, I try and be an ambassador for Scotland. I'd have a qualification of being Scottish. I'm going off on a tangent there. Anyway, so do I have any qualifications? No, I have my degree is in psychology, mainly it was kind of sports psychology for a while, but it is mainly just a full-on honours degree in psychology. And I just got into photography just because I thought it was cool, and it started letting me see the world in a different way. And then once I was taking the photos in a different way, I sent them to magazines and I was winning awards through that, as in I was winning Photo of the Week or getting published on the front page and stuff like that. Or an art gallery came up to me and said, these are good, can we put them in our art gallery? Yes, you can. That's more of a qualification than not. So anyway, says, I have searched your... Katie says, I've searched your video channel and did not find anything about this specifically. I would appreciate some insight into this, if you have any. Okay, cool. Great videos, by the way. I find your videos the most real and comforting amongst the vloggers. Oh, thank you very much. I can only take so much of Jared P. Got it. Okay, so what are the good things of having a qualification? I think the qualification, well, not so much a qualification, but being part of the BIP, of the societies, of the professional bodies, is that they produce stuff like newsletters, and they are also a way in for certain other jobs, I think, as well. So like some companies will, let's say you are Apple, you'll go, oh, we need some photographers in the UK, and they'll just call up the British Institute of Photographers or whatever they find, and they'll just say, can you tell us who your best photographers are, and they'll have a list of it. So it's almost more like a phone book or a dating agency, not a dating agency, but a central hub for a lot of professionals to deal with. Instead of having to go onto YouTube, where there might just be some people that are talking total bullshit and can't take a photo for shit, or just asking random people, not so good. If you go to a place where it's professionals and everyone knows that each other is taking good enough photos to reach a certain level, then you know you're dealing with people who've either been through the same experiences or have more understanding or more experience. Yeah, just pretty much experience. So I would say there's probably not a bad thing in joining these and getting qualifications from it, but are they needed? No. I think the only bad thing is I think there's a cost. I think it's like 90 quid a year or something like that per place. And if you want to put in your portfolio or submit your portfolio for review, then I think there's a little bit more of a charge for that as well. So in a creative field, qualifications I don't really get, but understanding that there are professional bodies which people can subscribe to and be part of and show active work within is beneficial, not only for the photographer but also for the people who will be going to that photographer for work and business. They can go, yes, we understand that you are. It's like if I go to a plumber, I want to know he is a registered plumber, not just some guy with a hammer and a chisel or whatever plumbers have. But you can still fix a pipe very, very well, even if you don't have a qualification of how to do that. So what's my answer? What's my answer? No, you don't need qualifications, but they can potentially be good for you just being part of the memberships that give out the qualifications. There you go. Anybody else? Have you got better ideas than what I'm saying? Cheers. Bye-bye.